Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Uranus Conjunct Chiron in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them, in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, if you have your Uranus Conjunct Chiron in a natal chart, there may be tremendous inspiration, which is Uranus, for helping and healing others, which is Chiron. Now, let's say if Chiron is an Aquarius in a natal chart, you may help and heal others through matters connected with society, helping others integrate with society more, maybe through humanitarian, altruistic endeavors, helping others. It could be expressing, the ingenious side, or, expressing ingenuity, forming friendships, attaining goals and aspirations as some examples. And also, too, another way this aspect may manifest in the natal chart is that friends and people that are in groups, clubs, and organizations, which is Uranus, may be prominent in matters associated with emotional and physical related suffering, which is Chiron. Now, keep in mind this is a conjunction, so conjunctions are neutral aspects, so there can be some good and bad with this in terms of those people being prominent. In some cases or instances, there may be some exacerbation of those matters connected with emotional and physical related suffering, and other times it may be people may be very beneficial in that, but they may play an integral role in those matters one way or the other. If let's say if Chiron is in Sagittarius, as an example, physical, emotional related suffering may be tied in. It could be matters of publishing or advertising, or simply, one's religious or philosophical beliefs, whether a person may have been condemned for them or what have you, or if it's physical related suffering and Chiron is in Sagittarius, it may be something associated with the thighs or the hips, the sciatic nerve, the liver, as some examples. And also, too, emotional and physical related suffering, which is Chiron, may be associated with society and group related matters, which is Uranus. It could simply be being able to ingratiate with others or integrate with society, being able to be involved with groups, whether there's issues with shyness connected with them or whatever it might be. And the thing about this is, if you have, let's say if Chiron is in Capricorn as an example, there may be some physical related suffering associated with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, the gallbladder. It may have been involved with activities, group related activities, whether it's sports, something sports related or what have you. Now, also, too, another way this aspect may manifest in the natal chart is that Uranus-related people may be prominent in those matters as well. And when I say those matters, the emotional and physical related suffering, one way or the other. And when I say Uranus-related people, that covers a wide divergence of people. Whether it's friends, people, again, prominent in groups, clubs, and organizations, people involved in astrology, computers, electronics, innovators, astronomers, as some examples. Now, also, too, there may be physical-related suffering, which is Chiron, associated with the ankles, the shins, the calves, nerves, circulation, or unusual growths and tumors, which is Uranus. Now, let's say if Uranus is in Libra, as an example, there could be some some cases, there may be some unusual growth in tumor that's by the lower back, kidney area. If, let's say if Uranus is in, Aquarius, maybe those issues may be more, intermittent, sporadic, erratic. It may emphasize something more nerve-related, as another example. And also, to depleted self-esteem, which is Chiron, may be associated with the expression of ingenuity and friendships, which is Uranus. Now, it could be issues in expressing, ingenuity, or those innovative ideas that are not accepted, or maybe there's some fear or apprehension in terms of expressing those matters. It can be too, if you have, let's say, if Uranus is in Sagittarius, as an example, there may be ingenious ideas that are connected with sports, publishing, advertising, printing press operation is some examples, but there maybe there's some apprehension or fear that's connected with the expression of them. Another thing too is that the deepest wound, which is Chiron, may be associated with one's goals, aspirations, and matters with freedom and independence, which is Uranus. Now, the thing about this is, now, let's say, for example, if Uranus is in Scorpio, goals and aspirations may be tied in with locksmithing, psychology, the occult, which includes astrology. It may be something connected with deep research, investigation, forensics, embalming, work that involves, being a coroner or a surgeon, or doing something with insurance, or working as a loan officer. As an example, it could be, like say, issues with the attainment of goals and aspirations, and also as far as freedom and independence goes, deepest wound may be connected with issues in terms of having that freedom and independence. Again, if you have, let's say if Uranus is in Scorpio, that you have a conjunction in Scorpio, it may be due to, an intimate connection, or, just issues that are more controlling, involving one's freedom and independence in one's life. Now, also, too, you may show and express much inspiration, which is Uranus, in dealing with the deepest wound, which is Chiron. Now, let's say, for example, if Chiron is in Pisces, that deepest wound may be tied in, could be issues with the attainment of dreams or fantasies or one's ideals. Maybe it was some issue connected with betrayal, deception, duplicity, as some examples. And also, too, another way Uranus conjunct Chiron may be expressed in the natal chart is that you may be someone that can teach and mentor others, which is Chiron, in subjects associated with astrology, computers, astronomy, electronics, or aviation, which is Uranus. Now, let's say if the conjunction is in Sagittarius, as an example, that may be done with more enthusiasm, exuberance, expansiveness. There may be more, philosophy that is connected with this. You may be very philosophical in those matters. Now, another thing, keep in mind now, if Chiron is retrograde, the suffering that one may endure, whether it's emotional or physical related suffering, may be more internalized and suppressed, and there may be more of an emphasis on self-healing, healing the self in contrast to healing others. So, if you have, let's say, if, for example, if Chiron was in Capricorn, may be more, and it's retrograde, there may be more of an emphasis on self-healing connected with one's, social status, stature in life, the success that one may have, attained, or, the difficulties associated with that, or it could be physical related issues associated with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, or gallbladder, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Reed saying stay well.